Good evening, good people. What's going on? You know how we get down. You either get right or you get left. Hey, we got a lot to cover tonight, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hit that like and subscribe button on the way in. Let's get to it.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
What's going on? You know how we get down. You either get right or you get left. Welcome to the cage. We got a lot we got to cover today, but again, appreciate you guys taking time out of your schedules to come in here because it's been a lot of stuff that's been going on. And one of the biggest concerns right now, still with the Falcons, is we don't have a general manager name. That's going to be something we tap into. But before we tap into this topic or any other topics, I got to bring Coach Lou into the building. We got Coach Cam in the building. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's going on, brother? What's going on, friends and family? Let's get to it.
Hey, man, I'm not even holding up on this. The first thing that we are going to talk about and the first thing that we are going to bring up right now, which I think is one of the most important things, is Coach Nate Ollie will remain with this team. 57 sacks this year that just went by. Outside of the 57 sacks that just went by this year, you talk about developing a pass rush, or even if they were not getting to the quarterback, they were still affecting passing lanes, a lot of batted passes that were down. He brings a lot of value to this team. And having Coach Ollie remain, I feel as if is one of the most important factors of this offseason, in my opinion. I know we kept Coach Brick, but you literally kept the guy who had the base of the roux. You're cooking in the kitchen, the man that made the roux. Because guess what? These secondary guys don't get as many picks, and they can't play one-on-one or play in the zone areas if they had to worry about pretty much other things up front. So how do you feel about Coach Ollie remaining, Cam? And what are your thoughts about what he can possibly do coming up?
As a defensive line coach, this is a great thing. The thing about Coach Ali is that he was able to do a lot with a lot of first-time guys, especially rookies, and James Pierce Jr. and Jalen Walker. So when you're able to move pieces around, even when we lost guys, he still was able to keep that pass rush coming. Pastors didn't have a whole bunch of time to sit there and dissect it like they've done in the past. I believe our the from the height to the time we hit the quarterback, I believe was 2.03 seconds that we gave quarterbacks to look and pass the ball. So I mean that's a huge difference from last year when we were close to almost 6 seconds, allowing quarterbacks to sit there and scan the field. When you're a secondary player, we all know that when you're in the backfield, you have roughly 3 seconds to cover your guy before they get open. That's usually the rule. So when you have a guy who's made a huge impact, 57 sacks in one season when we've had that combined in the last four. 4 seasons compared to one, we had 57 sacks in 4 seasons. This season, we have 57 by themselves with mostly rookies. So to have that, to hang on to that person was a huge win for us, and it's
Yep.
only going to get better.
Now, here's the other thing that I'm looking at too. And then we're going to get on to the next topic. Here's something that's very important when you look at it. And this just came in not too long ago. Kirk Cousins' contract was restructured. We already hit on the fact that he could possibly be leaving. So what that means is we're going to have at least a little over $20 million in cap space if we cut him, and we'll be able to bring in some players. That is something that is going to be critical, because you let go of Kirk Cousins, guess what? You go get your Mac Jones. You go get different kinds of quarterbacks that are out in free agency to pretty much be a backup at this point. That's how I'm looking at it, because right now, the main thing that we need right now is we need a backup quarterback for number one. That should be the first priority. Then you fix your line, your O-line, and then you go get you a corner. I know it sounds crazy to everybody because everybody's saying, oh, well, we need a receiver. We need this. Here's the thing. How's your offense going to score points when you can't block for whoever's back there, whether it's Penix or whether it's anybody else who's backing up? So my thing is get your backup quarterback first. Free agency market. That's
I mean, I'm
that's
with you.
how I'm looking at it in this
I'm
sense.
with you on that. But here's the thing: I can see Kirk Cousins coming back on a new contract. We can waive him and then bring him back with a whole newly written contract, which opens up even more money for us for
Here's the
free
other
agency.
thing. A lot of people keep saying he's aiming. Here's the thing. Everybody is saying Penix is going for week one. Here's my thing. First off, I'm not rushing this quarterback back fast. Anybody that's ever played sports and you've had a knee injury, you understand it takes a whole year mentally and physically to get back. Hasn't even been a year yet, and everybody's like, oh, well, he's doing this. Physically, he's doing it. Yes, that's the easy part. The hard part is when you start getting into live scrimmages, when you start getting to where people are diving by your legs. Here's the thing. We don't need to gamble with Penix at this point. I'm okay with bringing him back in the middle of the season, close to the end. I'm fine with that. A lot of people are going to be pissed off when I say it, but oh well. At this point, no, I'm not bringing him back early at all. At all. And the reason being, because here's the thing, all the couch general managers and armchair coaches are, well, he'll be ready and da-da-da. So if he comes back too fast and he hurts that knee again, guess what? He's damaged goods again. And at that point, you have to start looking at another quarterback for your future. So it's no need to gamble because you have a guy that has physical talent that needs to be groomed at this point. My thing is, why do we want to be in a situation where we're going to be picking a quarterback that high again? We don't need to be in that spot. Be smart about it.
I wouldn't bring Michael Penix back till roughly halfway through the season.
Facts.
Even if that, I probably wouldn't even bring him back to if we even think we're going to sniff the playoffs. That's when I would break him back just to get him flowing into the swing of things. But honestly, like when you've had four AC, this would be his fourth ACL injury.
No, he's only had 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I did one, so it's 3. So
yeah, please don't wish another one on him.
Yeah, no. You've had 3, right? So you had the right, you had the left, and I think it's the right one again. So when you've had that kind of injury, when we look at Kyle Pitts, right? Kyle Pitts hasn't truly looked healthy until this year.
Facts.
When he had that injury 2 years ago, he didn't look good last year, and he's starting to really look like himself this year, where he was more explosive. He was able to get in and out of his breaks. So when you put so much torque and tension on those knees, those ligaments, they got to be just as strong as everything else. So with Michael Penix going through this, he's not ready. I'm not rushing that at all.
But the problem is this: he's gonna be in the pocket where you got bodies flying.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: if you can't trust your pocket to protect you, and especially on your blind side, and we know that right side is a problem, I'm not rushing him back because, again, as I say before, most of y'all understand when I say a lot of these guys got child support, alimony, kids going to college, paying for their side women and everything else. It's just what it is. They will take a quarterback out if they can cleanly, pretty much to get a bonus. So
Pretty
again, at
much.
this point, I'm not risking the franchise quarterback at this point. And my thing is, you need to at least give him a full year to heal, or at
Yep.
least sit him for majority of the season and then
Mhm.
allow him to heal up and then throw him into it where you're not just throwing him into the Lions den, put him in a game where you know he can start getting his timing back and his rhythm back where it's not that serious in those type of games. But that's a little something neither here nor there. It just kind of tapped into the Kirk Cousins situation, and that comes into the free agency market with the Falcons that we were talking about. Because again, right now, as I said before, you got a chance to get players. You know, Joe Flacco is out there. You got Daniel Jones that's out there. I'm not saying they're coming here. I'm just giving you some names. Mac Jones is a guy I would love to see here in Atlanta. You got him. I mean, you have a ton of people. And here's the other thing. We don't have a quarterback coach right now. We still do not have a quarterback coach. Most people think it's going to be Musgrove, and I don't think it's going to be Musgrove. In my opinion, I feel as if it's a guy that should get an opportunity. If he's not going to be an offensive coordinator, I think you bring him back as a quarterback coach because he played the position and he was good at it. You bring in a Byron Leftwich to be a quarterback coach. If you're not going to have him as an OC, guess what? If you bring him in as a quarterback coach and helping out with the passing game, this is the scary part about the whole thing. Bill Callahan, offensive coordinator that has been to a Super Bowl as a head coach / OC, and also has been to multiple playoff games and championship games. Byron Leftwich, playoff games as a player, has won a Super Bowl as a backup quarterback that understands that role, and then has won a Super Bowl as an offensive coordinator with Tom Brady down in Tampa. So again, if we're going to look at different opportunities, we just lost DJ Williams to go to Washington. Bring in a proven quarterback that has played in this league, that started at a franchise and was a franchise quarterback, and have him to come in here and mentor Michael Penix Jr. That's what I'm looking at.
Funny thing, bro. I was thinking about the guy that replaced Byron Leftwich, David Gerard.
And
He's
and here's
doing
the
a
other
hell of
thing.
a job right now as a quarterback coach for the USFL with the St. Louis Battlehawks.
So
He's developing those guys amazingly. So
agreed.
for someone who also did something great in the NFL for the Jacksonville Jaguars and other teams, David Gerard was also a proven quarterback. So if you want to bring in someone who can do the job, definitely bring in Byron Leftwich. That would be my first choice because he's a proven guy. But if you want to go get someone that's not going to cost you a lot of money, but also has experience, go get a David Gerard. It's not a really hard thing to do because when you have your franchise guys say that I didn't have a quarterback coach that would talk to me on the sideline and coach me up when I made a mistake or I didn't do this or I missed something, then why did we have them there? You know what I mean? So it's so many things that we can do. So hopefully that does get fixed soon. But if you're talking free agency, there's two major pieces that I'm looking at, and they're both on the defensive side of the ball: middle linebacker and corner. Those are two of
Mm-hmm.
the biggest pieces that we need to fix immediately because when Ellis went down and when Divine Diablo went down, that that middle that core was terrible. We couldn't stop a
That's an
cold.
understatement. When you talk about it, that's an understatement. And I sit back and I wonder, like we said, in that situation, all you can do is shake your head at this point. And
Yep.
we just hired
Ian Cunningham.
Ian Cunningham out of San Francisco. So welcome, Mr. Cunningham. Thank you for your services with Frisco. Now we have a general manager. It was really, and we all said this, it was either going to be Ian Cunningham or it was going to be elsewhere. So at this point, I'm good with it. I'll take that. So it's a beautiful time. Now we know what direction we're gonna be in. He was interviewed twice today, so we actually finally have our general manager, which is Ian Cunningham. Now, I'm sorry, it was Chicago. I was thinking about the 49er guy, my fault. So we got Ian Cunningham from Chicago, pretty much was in on that rebuild, but a lot of people don't really understand Ian's background. If you don't know his background, go ahead and look it up. He was with Chicago, but outside of Chicago, is 2 teams that he worked for, and he also won Super Bowls with. He was with the Baltimore Ravens under Ozzie Newsome, who's one of the greatest general managers of all time, and he learned a lot under him. And then he also was with the Philadelphia Eagles and learned with Howie Roseman. So he has 2 Super Bowls to his resume. So he understands what it looks like to win championships and what it's going to take. So at this point, you pretty much already are going to have your assistant GM and the gentleman who came in from the Lions or whatnot. But we'll get to that a little bit later because that's one of the topics. Welcome into the cage. We got K-Dub in the building. What's up, man?
What's up, gentlemen? Good to be in the building. I know a little bit fashionably late, but good to be in the building. Let's get into these Falcon topics and some of the off-season moves we've been making.
Well, go ahead and pull up a chair. We already into the topics. So pretty much we just hired our general manager or whatnot. That was going to be one of the topics.
We hired him?
Yeah, we hired Ian Cunningham. So,
okay. That's who I wanted. All right.
Yeah,
so
we all said we wanted Cunningham in this situation. Everybody said that in here. If it wasn't Cunningham, I know Scoop was saying possibly the cat from San Francisco. So those were the 2 guys we were looking at. So we brought in Cunningham. He got a second interview today, and apparently they chose him over James Leifert from the Texans, which I'm okay with because, again, got a guy that's got 2 rings and knows what it looks like. So now here's the question I pose for you guys in the chat as well as the guys on the panel. Are we going to listen to this man, or is he going to be another guy that's going to possibly be a scapegoat, even though he's built teams to help win championships? Are we going to listen to this man? That's my question.
Go ahead.
Exactly. You talking about the new general manager?
Yeah, Ian Cunningham. Are we going to listen to him? Because
I pray they are. I mean, and so Coach Cam, you thinking they're not going to listen?
They've proven that they won't. So why would they do it now? They have a track record of not listening. This franchise has a record of not listening.
The franchise has a history of not listening. But I mean, I'm trying to give this new regime a little bit of a pass, but we'll see. But if Coach Cam said if we're true to form, true to our roots, we probably won't. So, but I want to be a tad bit optimistic. I know everybody has been pessimistic, so I'm trying to be a tad bit optimistic this week. Because what can I say? This organization, not this organization, but this regime is here for right now. Trying not to be so negative, Nancy each and every week. So hopefully, I'm gonna go. Hopefully they listen. There we go. That's what I think. They'll listen.
What's going on, Great Beard? Welcome to the party.
Sure.
What's up, Gray? What it is? What it do?
What's going on, baby?
So before Great Beard get to it, hey, so just to give you guys a heads up, we already have an assistant. He's an advisor, and a lot of people don't understand that Bob Quinn is not just going to be an advisor. He's going to probably end up being an assistant general manager. That is the advisory position that he's going to have because he's already been a general manager. He was a general manager with Detroit. So you technically have 2 general managers in the building. One is an advisor, but one has the active title. So you have 2 people in the building right now. And you got to remember, Bob Quinn was fired in Detroit before they had their massive turnaround. So it wasn't the fact that he didn't know how to bring in talent. It was the fact that they had talent when he was there because he was responsible for it. He just didn't have the right guy leading the talent. That was the problem. So,
I mean, hopefully it works. Hopefully it works for us because the last time we had multiple GMs when we had Dimitrov and Scott Pioli. So maybe this works for us. We'll see. Yeah. I'm praying it does as a Falcon fan and content creator help. So we'll see, man.
Gray Beard, what do you think, man? Because you're just coming into the building. We gotta get your feet wet. What's good?
It looked like we just trying to repeat that magic we had back in the 20
2016.
2015 era with the multiple hiring of GM. Me, if it worked, it worked. Me personally, I think we falling back into too many Chiefs, not enough Indian type of type of thing. I mean, you need to have one person
Well,
that we need to have one person because we shouldn't have to hire two firms to let us know we have no direction.
so here's a question I got for you because you just mentioned something. Think about it. Go back and look at Joe Gibbs' 1991 Washington Redskins that won the Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
Joe Gibbs, head coach. You had Rod Dowhauer, who was a coach for us at one point, but also a head coach for the Colts back in the 80s. He was their offensive coordinator.
Okay.
You had multiple guys that were head coaches that were on that staff, and they understood how to play their role, and they ended up winning a Super Bowl. And they did it with Mark Rippon and those guys there, Gerald Riggs, and all those guys. Here's the question. Do you think that people can humble themselves, put their egos aside, and actually play their role?
No,
Because
Not in this era.
no, not in this
because
era. No,
it seems like we have those issues in a lot of organizations. You know, when you have people that will not put their egos aside, but want to be out front and want to make the decisions and want to do this here, but then you got somebody else doing this, and it brings too much tension. How do you think these guys can work together and put those egos aside and put this team in front out front to win ball games? So go ahead, Gray.
Well, I think that just come from the owner. I mean, the owner had a specific plan when he hired Matt. He said, "Matt, look, I'm going to leave this up to you." But at the end of the day, for me, in my personal opinion, if it worked, I'm down with it because, like you said, we did have success with it. 2016, how we went to the Super Bowl, and even when we had Mike Smith or whatever. But I just think the way the era is right now,
Mm-hmm.
all it takes is
mistake.
one mistake, and egos will clash. So I just hope Matt will be able to reel it in and be like, look, we can't have this here. We have a plan, we have a vision. Either you with us or we're gonna get you out the paint.
Okay. But got to move on because, like I said, we'll spend all day talking about that topic. And again, congratulations to Ian Cunningham. Welcome to Atlanta. We got another general manager who actually has been groomed, and this is something that we preach about. We want people in positions that have been groomed. So that is an important position. And from the organizations that he's come from Baltimore and Philly, and now in Chicago, I like what we're bringing into the table. Now, they got to let him work. They can't handcuff him. That's the only thing I say. You can't handcuff him. You can't do him like you did Terry for the first 2 years.
And that's the question. Are they gonna let him work?
But like I said, again, with the structure that we have, right? I'm going to say it was 2014 to 2017 with Scott Pioli, Rich McKay, Thomas Dimitrov. All of those guys had previously already worked together in New England, so
Yep.
they had a prior knowledge of how each other worked and how each other moved. This is now a situation in where these guys have to come to a round table and try to figure out what their strengths and weaknesses are. The thing is, this is going to be more so a Matt Ryan show because everything is pretty much going to go through Matt Ryan. He's probably going to have the final say.
Yep.
The thing is this: as much as I like Bob Quinn, he's more so going to be the assistant to Matt Ryan.
Yep.
Ian Cunningham did one hell of a job the last 3 years in Chicago building that team. And look where they went this year. They were a fingertip away from being in the championship game. So
Right.
to see what he did with that team and the cap space that he had or the lack thereof, the trades that he made to get the right pieces in the building, get the wrong pieces out the building, things like that, it's a beautiful thing to do. But here's the thing. this franchise has shown us time and time again that people are always going to look out for themselves when they're looking for their next promotion. And it's going to be that one mistake where I think if I make this move, it'll help me in my next situation. So, do we avoid that situation, or do we fall right back into it? Because that's what this franchise has shown us.
Here's a nugget for you. A lot of folks, if you're not familiar, outside of what Ian Cunningham has done, when you talk about as a general manager with Philly and also with Chicago and Baltimore, here's something if you don't know about him. He played at University of Virginia. He was an offensive lineman. So understand this. He's going to value the trenches.
Yes.
Understand this. Look at every team he's been with. He values the trenches. And guess what? He doesn't mind getting guys from smaller schools too. Look at some of the rosters that he got. So I'm giving y'all some nuggets on this. This man does not just draft from the major schools. He will go find a diamond that nobody else wants, and he'll sit there and chip away the charcoal off of it, shine it up, and we have a diamond. So understand, the offensive line, you bring in Callahan for number one, and now you bring in a guy that's a GM that's a former offensive lineman. This right here is going to let you know that they're not playing. They're not playing. They're getting ready to get this O-line right. The question that we have is with Tommy Reese, because we know what Callahan's going to do. If you're a fan of the game, we know what he brings to the table. We got to see what Stefanski is going to do as a head coach here. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. Welcome, Ian. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We appreciate the fact that you did apply and you got the job, sir. Now, let's get to something that everybody's been buzzing about. We're going to talk a little bit about the takeaway from the first press conference of Kevin Stefanski. And before we get this thing started, what I'm going to say to y'all, you don't win championships through a damn press conference. Stop saying he won the press conference. Please. We are asking you to let him get on the field first. Because guess what? Talk is cheap. You found that out with Raheem last year. Let this man get to work first before you start claiming championships. Because we've seen this on so many social media sites. We've seen this on many fan pages and fan groups. Let Stefanski get on the field before y'all start crowning this man. Because you're going to look real foolish if you crown him and he doesn't come through. We want him to come through, but just don't set yourself up like that. Let him get in the building first before you start crowning this man, please. But fans are going to do what fans do, so we got to look for something. So at this point, this is what was taken from the first part of the interview, and we're going to kind of break this down because since we got three pieces, I'm going to break it down with each one of you guys or whatnot. So Cam, you get the first piece, K-Dub gets the second, and also Gray, you're going to get the third piece of this. So here we go. Kevin Stefanski and his opening topic.
I would tell you that when it comes to accountability or culture, it's really my job to enable a program and put up the guardrails, if you will, with the program. But the best accountability comes from the locker room. And I believe it is player driven. I think Matt's been a part of that in his NFL career in these locker rooms. So I will certainly put a structure together for our players, for our coaches to hold each other accountable. But at the end of the day, a player-driven culture is what we will have.
So before we get into it, D. Craig, the people that's calling him a loser is not wrong because he's 8-26 coming in here. And he's only had 2 winning seasons and he really doesn't have a good record. So I don't see that being untruthful. It's the truth. It's a brutal truth. But maybe he can turn that record around when he gets to Atlanta. But as of now, he's not that good right now, record-wise. So let's wait and see. But Cam, how do you feel about what you heard in the opening when he talked about accountability and a few other things?
I mean, I respect it, but I need to see it. I need to see it in real time because that's something that I heard a lot with Raheem. That's something that I heard with Arthur Smith, and that's something that I heard with Dan Quinn. we want to have this brotherhood where we hold each other accountable and blah 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 blah. But when it comes down to it, when are you going to actually do it as a head coach? For accountability, Raheem, they told you to fire Zach Smith, and you refused to do it. But you
Exactly.
threw Ike Hilliard under the bus. So again, I need to see it. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm tired of all the talking. I'm tired of the flashy stuff. Show me on the field. Show me with your actions. Until then, it's just talk. And I'm not one to hear it anymore. I've heard it for three consecutive different head coaches and their staffs. I can't do that. We can't do that again. We can't hold people to their words. We have to actually see it in motion. Stefanski definitely didn't do it in Cleveland, so why would he do it here? You have to show and prove me without a shadow of a doubt that you're going to do what you say. And for 2 years, the last 2 years in Cleveland, you did not do that. You didn't hold anybody accountable, yourself included. You threw everybody else under the bus. You threw Shador under the bus about his quarterback sleeve. That had nothing to do with him. He's the quarterback. The staff gives that to him. How do you give your starting quarterback the wrong calls? How does that happen? And you're the head coach. Where's the accountability in that? So all I'm saying is you're going to have to show this franchise that you're true to the things that you say.
What up, Uncle Louie? I agree with you on that. But when you talk about accountability, I'm with you on that because again, we saw that part. And there's clips of it. You can't hide it. It's out there. And everybody said, oh, what he does is okay. Well, we already know that it's baggage that comes with it. The question is, you spoke about learning from your mistakes when you had your first press conference. We got to see if you learn from your mistakes, and we're going to see about accountability because here's one thing that y'all got to understand. Players talk to players. They work out with each other in the offseason, even if they're from different teams. So just know that you don't think that all these Falcon players are not talking to some of these Cleveland Brown players about what he was like and what they're going to be getting into. So don't think that these conversations are not being had. It's just what it is. This is part of the business. It's part of the game. Because guess what? That's going to be your employer for the next 5 years. Or if Arthur gets rid of him before that, that is your employer. That is your boss at this point. So let's see how this plays out. But again, as we said, we hope for the best. But again, we just have to see how this front office goes when it comes to free agency and the draft. That's going to tell you a lot of which direction this team is going, not the press conferences. But we got another piece that's coming up. So, K-Dub, this is your piece right here, number 2.
Next story. Tommy will call plays. That's a setup that I'm very, very comfortable with. I think he's an outstanding football coach. He's young, but I don't know if you always measure experience just in years. I think he's had unbelievable experiences in his young career. He's somebody that I trust. We see the game similarly, but we also push each other because we're different. So Tommy will head up that offensive staff. I'm excited about some of the people we've been able to bring in already to this group. And, I have the utmost confidence in Tommy.
So before I get to that, shout out to Louis Algier, Tyler Algier's uncles in the chat tonight. Appreciate you coming through, sir. K-Dub, question for you. With this, he says he trusts Tommy Rees, and this is a guy that has pretty much not been good at any of his stops at all. But he trusts this guy, and he's been up under Nick Saban. He literally was under him in Cleveland, and when Stefanski was fired, he pretty much was let go with him. And even before then, he was let go in Seattle. So, and you pretty much see where Seattle's at right now with Kubiak. So the question is this: what gives you the confidence that Tommy Rees can be a difference maker with this team, knowing what his past is, and Stefanski saying he trusts him? But again, the zebra doesn't change his stripes too much.
No, I mean, I'm to the sentiment of what you're saying. I don't understand why this guy is so confident, because he gave me nothing to be confident in. I think it's water under the bridge, another homeboy hire. You're confident in this guy. but I don't see where the confidence lies that, we're different. He's gonna challenge me. I'm like, how is he gonna challenge you, man? This guy that has an inadequate offense. I mean, what are you guys gonna challenge each other for on the sandbox and pushing sand around? I mean, I don't understand these guys, man. You'll be doing the same thing they asked Raheem to do and fire your OC halfway through the season, and you'll have to pick up the play calling, man. You have a shorter leash, I believe, than Raheem because you're not coming in with any fanfare. You have majority of the fan base on the outside looking in. I think gauge each and every fan, but just doing a broad spectrum of social media platforms, you might have like a 15 to 20% likable rate right now. And 80% are out there like, oh, I don't know, or wait to see. So right now, you got to come in guns blazing, ready to get to work, and that's all I want to hear is we're going to get to work. No proclamations, no results or anything like that. Like putting out any records or anything like that. We're gonna go into the play. Don't make no assumptions. Just go in and go to work, man, and put the best product on the field and coach your best possible job. I don't want to hear nothing. Just like Cam said, Coach Cam, we don't want to hear it, man. We want to see actions. We want to see product placement on the field. We want to see nothing but hard work and dedication. People are showing up early, leaving late, doing the little things to continue to get better, man. We want you to make the right roster moves. We want you to make the right decisions, who to start, who to sit. Don't, like they said earlier, don't rush Penix back. Let guys continue to get better and development. He kept talking about development. I want to see it, homeboy. You keep talking about development. You better show me you're gonna develop these guys when you get them in here. All this riff-raff talking, hiding up under Matt Ryan. I'm tired of it. Go ahead and go to work. Saying, oh yeah, I know I've been knowing Matt Ryan for a long time. Quit bringing Matt Ryan up, man. Go to work. We don't care about you knowing Matt Ryan. We don't care that he lived down the street for you in Philly. Get to work. That's it. We know how you got the job. Now get to work. That's just how I am. That's how I feel about the situation. Moving forward. But yeah.
And I agree with you. What's up?
How does the OC challenge a head coach?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
So here's the thing.
It's a legitimate question. I'm not being funny.
Here's the thing. The way an OC can challenge a coach in a spot. What's up, Kerry? The way that an OC can challenge a coach in a spot is by pretty much exceeding his standards. That is how you challenge a coach. Because guess what? If it's horrible, it's either going to be my job or your job. So the way that you challenge it is by putting points up and getting wins. So, yeah, we already talked about the GM. We know you just walked through, Kerry. So definitely appreciate you coming through. I'll say this, man. I'm at that point, as you said, when we talked about him trusting. I don't have trust. You have to build equity with me, just like you build with the bank, with credit. You got to build your equity up. You got to get your credit card. You got to start spending a little money. You got to start showing that you can pay that bill off. It's the same way right now. You have to pay this bill off with this fan base, and the way that you pay it off is with good draft picks. And then when you're able to do it, it has to be wins. Wins are the way that you're going to build the trust with this fan base. If you don't win ball games, you're going to be the next one that's going to be up out of here. And it's just the honest to God truth. So all I can say is this, man. At this point, I'm just good with how this goes. Nando, appreciate it, because Nando actually had Tommy Reese when he was at Alabama. So here's the thing. I'm with you on that, Nando. You dealt with Tommy Reese. And most Alabama fans that are in this fan base were pissed when he was hired. Some of the language that has been used, I can't repeat on this broadcast. That's all I'm gonna say. It's that bad. So if you know they were pissed about it because they understand what it's like to have a winning culture and actually win. you got to trust what they're saying at this point because they know football. So when they're telling you that this is a problem, hey, he got to prove it. But great bid. We got one last one for you. We're gonna let you cover this one. This was Stefanski's last clip that we took. You know, we weren't gonna be able to have the whole conversation, but we do have this here. Here you go.
Outline some of the things that are important to us. Playing a physical brand of football is really important. If you want to win in December and January and into February, you have to play that style as we all have all seen over the course of these playoffs. So understanding that we have to be multiple and versatile in everything we do, and that's offense and that's defense and that's special teams. But at the end of the day, we want to play a physical brand of football.
Now,
heard that before.
You say we're going to play a physical brand of football. Great bid. This is your topic. Now, I'm going to ask this question and I'm going to let you get to it. When we talk about playing a physical brand of football, and you already see that your defense is already physical, how is your special teams going to turn around and become a physical unit to create turnovers to help your offense? And how is your offense going to be a little bit more physical or whatnot? But go ahead. What you got?
How many times have I heard we're going to be fast and physical? Arthur Smith.
Dan Quinn.
Coach Reed. At least Dan Quinn delivered in 2 years, and we made it to the Super Bowl. So I give him a little bit of credit. Raheem Morris. Fast and physical. 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 8 years of fast and physical got us under 500. So to me, I gotta see it. I'm like, I gotta see it. I can't trust the word. I can't. It sounds good, look good, might even taste good. But until I see it on the field, I don't believe him. Sorry. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just being realistic. We've been sold this dream for over 7 or 8 years. I need to see it. Like I said, it sounds good. I mean, I'm all for it. If it happens, I'm cool. We good. But until I come in with special teams, can we at least flip the field and kick off return to coverage? Can we at least get past the 20?
So I got something for you.
Can we make field goals?
I'm gonna kill this topic real quick. This is exactly how I feel about the press conference and everybody making a big deal about it. And y'all, if you don't like it, fine. But this is how I feel about it.
Shut up, you're pathetic.
That is how I feel about the damn press conference. It's pathetic because we're looking to win a damn press conference. Take it on the field. Or as George Clinton in Parliament and Funkadelic would say, take it to the stage. That's where I'm at with it. I don't want to hear any more tongue rats.
I just want to know what other team had ever said we won the press conference.
Hey, listen. I was born in Georgia, raised in between Georgia and Jacksonville, Florida, Duval County. But guess what? I am a temporary resident of Missouri. It's the show me state right now. You got to show me. It's not the fact that I'm hating on him because here's the thing. I'm giving him a chance because what have you heard me say? No, I don't like the hire. But guess what? It's logo business at the end of the day. He's got the logo. I'm riding with Coach Stefanski. And the way that I ride with him, I'm going to go ahead and bring it back to you like this here. So fair use, fair use, fair use. This is how I'm feeling about it. That's how I'm feeling.
Backseat of a cat.
That's how I'm feeling. It's just like I played the clip for you with Do or Die. It's just like, do you want to ride in the backseat of a caddy? Chop it up with Do or Die. That's how I'm feeling.
MP-ology.
But you know what? Instead of Do or Die, I'm going to flip it for you. Here you go. Do you want to ride in the backseat of a caddy? Chopping up with Stefanski. Yeah, and we got MP. Look, and now that we know that Kirk is leaving, MP9's driving the car. So guess what? He better not crash this damn Cadillac right now. We can't afford that. Not now.
Not the
But
Chevy.
I'll say this. And if you got a problem with how I feel about it, I'm going to quote my boy, rest in peace to Mr. New Jack.
Like me or not, I didn't come up here to be liked. I came up here to get paid.
That's how I'm feeling. Rest in peace to New Jack, by the way. If you watch,
I like that one. I like that clip.
and here's the thing. Whether y'all know it or not, New Jack is from Atlanta, by the way. And
Okay, that's probably why I like that's what he said. Let's get it.
That was the infamous clip. That was the infamous clip when he was with the Smoky Mountain Wrestling, where he gave a shout out to OJ. I ain't gonna play that on the show because that might get us in trouble. But again, as I said before, like me or not, I don't care if you like me. I'm here to get paid. And the way that we get paid is by you giving us wins and giving us something else to talk about. Because I'm tired of talking about how bad stuff is. Give me something good the way it can be good.
I'm so tired of these. I'm so tired of these.
I got another question for you. Question for you, right?
What's up?
When coaches say that they want their teams to be fast or physical, right? Most teams take on the personality of their coach. If you look at a Rex Ryan, a Mike Tomlin, some of the more physical type of people who really don't really care what they say to the media.
Mm-hmm.
When are we going to bring someone in the building like that? At one time we had a Chuck Smith, if I'm correct, and we let him walk.
Yeah.
So where are we going to find that one person where this team can emulate a physical dominant presence? Like I truly believe that's the one thing in this building that we're missing. Because if you have a coach who's a hard-nosed coach, players tend to follow that, because if you have someone that's going to lead you into a fire, who's going to jump on the grenade with you to make sure that you do what you're supposed to do, that's someone that I'm willing to run into a brick wall and run through it for them. So when you hear players like a JJ Watt talk about their coach, or even TJ Watt, how he cried about Mike Tomlin stepping down, those are players who actually loved and emulated the coach that they played for. When are we going to bring someone in here or give someone like a Jerry Gray the ability to be that guy, the voice, and be the face of this team to let them do what they're supposed to do? Because if we look at it, Jerry Gray is one of the hardest hitting players that I personally have ever seen. He's one of the grittiest players that I've ever seen. So he knows a thing or two because he played it at a high level, and he coached some of the best corners in the league to a high level. Why is this man in the background not having the ability nor the power to do things the way that it should be done?
I agree with you, D. Mitch. I think Nate Ollie could be that coach, but just to be honest, in this situation, Nate didn't play in the league. The guy that commands that respect is Jerry Gray, and he's old school, and he's got those values. That's the reason why Ulbrich kept him. Right now, he's on the roster still, but he's not he doesn't have an official title. Now, my problem is this. If you don't bring Jerry Gray back, that's a problem for me. Because guess what? You see the development in all the corners in the secondary with this man. Period. He's the assistant. Yes, he was the assistant head coach. He was the assistant defensive coordinator. But guess what? He mainly worked with the secondary guys.
Have we made a hire for quarterback coach yet?
No, we talked about that early at the beginning of the show.
Okay, I'm just trying to track that. I need an excellent quarterback coach.
Four consecutive years without a true quarterback coach on the roster.
So I'm
four
gonna
consecutive years.
I don't just need one. I need an excellent.
Look, as soon as we said damn quarterback, now I gave this man the link, and this joker popped up as soon as I said quarterback. Look who popped in. The crooked deacon is in the church. Come on. Wait a minute.
John.
John, you know what? I got to give you a theme song, brother, because you know what? You done slid up in here like old Cricket Deacon for real. And we was just talking about Cadillacs. Here you go.
Hey John, like man, you gotta play that diamond in the back, down the rooftop, big head
You know what?
with a
You know what? I would have brought that Curtis Mayfield in here, diamond in the back. But see, John didn't tell me whether he was gonna come in or not, because I would have had that ready. But guess what? We sliding him in the front as the whole pimp right now. Do you want to ride in the backseat of a caddy? He's already he's the crooked preacher, the crooked deacon. That's what we call him. Guess what? What do you see crooked deacons and jackleg preachers driving?
And Cadillac.
Exactly. So that song fits his ass perfectly. But getting back to it, no, we were saying earlier about the quarterback coach situation. We said Byron Leftwich, and I mentioned this. Byron Leftwich would be the perfect quarterback coach. He was drafted #1 overall. He was the face of a franchise. Even though he won a Super Bowl ring as a backup, he helped lead the Bucs to a Super Bowl as an OC. So he's been in every role that you could think of, from backup, from starter to backup to OC to quarterbacks coach. He's done that. And my thing is, when you have a guy that's been experienced, just like how Jerry Gray is right now, just like Ulbrich is with these linebackers, guys that have done it, you bring him in here to groom a Michael Penix Jr. or whoever we get as a free agent, because I said Mac Jones needs to be the guy that we bring up in here, if we're going to be honest. Cheap contract, and the guy has played in a elite system, and he understands the passing game very well. You bring that guy up in here, and then you bring a Leftwich in here, you can give him enough money to leave Colorado. I guarantee you that he'll leave, because Prime wants his guys to go back to the league. But again, I would bring him in as a QB coach to groom whoever is going to be the quarterback at this point.
He should have been a head coach by now.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I don't know if he could take a step down back to a quarterback coach, but I think his aspirations are to go move up, or either maybe maintain, still be an OC, or either head coach. But that's just my opinion. You could be right. I would love to have him here.
He might go back to Marshall.
I mean, he could become head coach at Marshall. I mean, it could do a lot of things, but the key thing is it's either Byron Leftwich or whoever else that's an excellent quarterback coach. I'm just for whoever is going to be best for the future quarterback room that we do have coming up. But Leftwich would be great.
So I'm gonna let John tap into this, but here's something else that we brought up earlier that I'm gonna say again. Here's the thing: if Tommy Rees struggles, if you have a guy like a Byron Leftwich in here that is an offense, that's a quarterback coach, that's been an OC. You got Bill Callahan, who's an offensive line coach that was an OC that led the Raiders to a Super Bowl and also led them to plenty of championship games. Guess what? You would have not one, but two. You got one guy to protect your quarterback with being a great offensive line coach. The other one that's going to teach the quarterbacks that are going to be here how to maintain the position and how to play the position at a high level. And they also would both be able to help call the offense if Tommy Rees struggles. So that's why I was saying that. But John, welcome to the cage, brother. And I intrigued you with that point. How do you feel about that point right there, sir?
Oh, experience matters, gentlemen. Experience matters. You know, there are some people that don't even get past the resume level. Not to mention the interview. You know, the resume gets you the interview. And if I look on your resume, well, I played quarterback on Madden, son. If you don't get the hell out of my office right now,
I played quarterback on Madden.
Hell, you got to get out of my office, and you better be getting out here with the quickness, because you not qualified to even be in here. Who let you in here? You know, and even though these quarterback coaches may or may not have been successful, they still qualify from having been in the battle, okay, over many years. Okay, they know now what works and what doesn't work. All right, offensive coordinators, quarterback coaches, those things, that experience matters, man. That experience matters. It won't be like you got a room full of on-the-job trainees trying to train an on-the-job trainee. And as I always say, Ryan, you know, that's the way our job, that's the way the post office do.
Shoot, it's like that in the military. OJT, we all understand it. Because think about it, the post office was ran by military folks. That was who it was originally intended for when they got out. So a lot of that stuff. So John, the stuff you talking about, man, we all know it. Because guess what? We had to do it. After you get out of boot camp, this was what they tell you. Forget everything you learned at boot camp because it has nothing to do with what you're gonna do when you get into the fleet or in the field. It does not matter. And it's the truth.
You ain't never lied.
The only thing that might have stayed the same was pretty much learning how to tie a bowling knot, pretty much how to throw a heaving line for me, and pretty much how to deal with a pretty much deal with a few things I'm not even gonna get into. But all I can say is it's funny at this point.
It's just really a brainwashing process when you do.
Pretty much what it is.
Break you down to build you up.
That's literally what it is.
Then send you to the fleet.
Yep.
Yeah,
and then they're gonna break you down more when you get your ass in the fleet.
As long as you know your general order and you can shoot, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
And I would imagine, gentlemen, that breakdown point where, okay, you're lifting weights, you're exercising, you're getting physically fit. That breakdown point for that particular part of it is getting you ready. Because see, man, you know, a lot of people usually tell me that a lot of times that's the best physical shape they've ever been in.
Yeah. Okay. They had you in tip-top shape now.
Yeah.
That's all you do is
you run every day.
Mad at you, you're working out. Anytime they get, I mean, it's just what it is. They don't even get mad because it's an act. Guess what? They could pretend like they pissed. You could be walking, stop, drop. And I'm like, God. And it's like you, like me, I was in shape before I went in because I had got done playing for Coach McGriff. We was running 2 days. It was a joke for me because I was in shape. It's the people that come in that's not in shape that literally get broken in half.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm running circles around these folks. I'm coming right out of wrestling, you know, right in the nation. I was tip-top shape when I went in.
Thanks. Here's the funny part, John. And they tell people to stop smoking at least 3 months before you get in.
Some people stop smoking the day before they go to MEPS.
Yep. And John, when you see them jokes, you feel just like that, John.
Oh, now, hey, I've seen it. I've seen it out on the basketball court. You know, if they were smoking them, especially smoking them Pall Mells,
Dennis
and them Chesterfield.
Oh, he said them Chesterfield. That's old school. Hey, man, let Dennis up here, my man up here.
What's up, Dennis?
I ain't heard of Chesterfield since my grandfather.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember. Look here.
And can't forget about Ron either. Ron was with the Ignorant Thinkers podcast. He got Ron is with like about 9 or 10 different podcasts, man.
You ain't lying.
Ron with that many podcasts for real?
Yeah, Ron with Ignorant Thinkers too. Yes. That's why I made K-Dub, that's why I made the joke and I said, if y'all remember in Living Color, the Jamaican family with all the jobs, that is what Ron does with podcasts. He got 8 different podcasts he on. Am I lying, John?
8 different jobs,
man. Ron, the hardest working man in show business, man.
Look,
Ron, you retired, Ron. You retired.
He in the BirdCage for like 3 minutes and then he pop out and he in somebody else's show. That's just Ron.
Love the grind.
Yeah.
But speaking about the grind, we got to also talk about something else right now that's been grinded on. And I got to put it out here. We got to put a little negative connotation out here. Jamil Hill pretty much speaks on how she spoke to Falcon fans and saying that Deion Sanders should be the head coach. And she pretty much turned it about race. Jamil, I'm going to say this here, and I'm going to be respectful for right now because we got a future guest that you came after and she checked you when you guys got face to face on another podcast and y'all made up. But I'm gonna tell you like this: stop making this about race. Because here's the thing: if Deion was that good, he'd have teams trying to get him right now. He's struggling just to figure out how to coach in Colorado right now. He's struggling trying to put together. He puts together good staffs, but he can't win because he can't get talent. It's not that he doesn't know the game. And then he's also said that he doesn't want to coach in the NFL because he doesn't want to deal with pampered athletes, and he'd be ready to fight them. He's even said,
Can you
go ahead and look at the interviews. So stop trying to make this about race. We just trying to win a championship. We don't give a damn whether they black, white, whatever, because we just had a black coach that pretty much was tap dancing like the Sandman on the Cosby Show. Challenge. That was pretty much what we had.
He said, challenge.
Challenge. That's what we had.
I couldn't even understand what the man was saying. Somebody, I said, "What did he say?"
He was like, challenge.
Challenge. I said, "All right."
What up, Cam?
Everybody remember that episode.
Here's the thing with Jamel, right? And I think Jamel has done a lot of good things as far as activism and all the other things. But she hasn't been relevant in the sports world since his and hers with Michael Smith Jr. So for her to say the things that she's been saying about this is political and this is race based and all this other stuff, she's so far off topic with this, and it makes us as the African American community look bad, because when you falsify a statement like that and you say that he's a racist and he's this and he's that, not only do you discredit us as a people, you discredit us when things actually happen to us in our community. So unfortunately, when she does that, she hurts us more than she helps us. So if Jamel wants to be helpful, she has to be factual. Because if we're going to be factual, yes, the man has been terrible as a coach. He was 8-26 in the last 2 years. That's less than a .333 winning percentage. You haven't even won a third of your games as a head coach in the last 2 years. But again, Jamel, she's so off topic and she so wants to be relevant that she does more harm to herself than anything else. And again, I don't want him to fail, but he's shown me that he's not a great coach. So that's why the things that I've said about him have been factual, because anyone can go on Google and research the things that I've said. You're 8-26. You have a losing record over 5 years. You have two winning seasons in your stint as head coach of the Cleveland Browns. How did you go 8-26 for 2 years, and immediately after being fired 2 weeks later, you're hired as a head coach again with that record? Is it a friendly hire? Is it a scratch my back, I scratch yours type of thing? Is it, oh, I'm gonna bring you in so you can make me look good type of thing? Is it, I brought you in so you can kind of help me grow, my expertise in this role? It's so many ways that she could have worded it, but to say it was he's a racist and all this other stuff, she got to stop. That's disrespectful on so many levels.
And it's not just that; it was the fact that she came after, and we're gonna talk about that because this young lady is actually gonna be one of our guests. If you remember what happened at the end of the season with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Miss Lynn Jones. Miss Lynn Jones will be a guest on the BirdCage, ladies and gentlemen. I'm letting that out the bag. Not gonna tell too many people about it, but she was the African American lady that was in the Jacksonville Jaguars post game that gave props to the head coach, and everybody tried to jump on her and say, "Oh, she was an amateur." But here's the funny part: she's been running the Jacksonville Free Press for over 30 years. That is a independent black newspaper that's been around for over 100 years. She took that over in 1994. She's pretty much the HNIC. So that's the best way to describe it. She's her own boss. She's had credentials for over 30 years in her life. She's had conversations with Terry Bradshaws, with the James Browns, with the Michael Jordans, and got people of that sort. She's talked to politicians. She's talked to different people. So you have to understand, before you start speaking on something, you better understand what you're saying before you say it. Stop disrespecting people, because Mark Zeno tried it. I jumped on him. I jumped on Jamil Hill, and many of those folks that tried to call her amateur, and even D-Led's short bus looking ass. I jumped on him about it too.
Short bus shorty. Short
All
bus
I'm saying
Yeah,
is this.
short,
No, it's just
bus
what it
shorty.
is. Because here's the thing. That's 2 times that you've said something to put your foot in your mouth. And my thing is this: I'm all about equality. I don't like bashing folks, and especially black women that are out here. Black men too, but especially y'all, because first off, y'all have it a hell of a lot harder than we do in certain fields. I understand this firsthand. And I can tell you right now, and a lot of y'all don't get the respect that you deserve. But when you have stupid topics, the way that you drop and you say certain things without thinking, and you go off of irrational, non-journalistic type of how can I put it? You don't. I mean, let me go ahead and word this properly before I say it, because I know I'm live and I have people watching. When you go away from your journalistic
Integrity.
fundamentals and you just start spewing off stuff, you make yourself look real stupid at times. And right now, you look real stupid saying some of the stuff you do. You're a hell of a person that I watched growing up, that I read some of your articles when you were coming out of Detroit. And, you know, I want to see you still win. But start thinking before you speak. I get it. I'm a ranked amateur. I get it. But guess what, baby? I'm coming. I'm one of the ones that's coming. I'm going to speak, but I'm going to have my stuff in order before I speak. And I get it. You have to start doing the same.
Where's
You're
the
a talented
integrity?
journalist, and you put yourself in that spot. And then you speak on Atlanta like you know Atlanta. Baby, you from Detroit, Michigan. You don't know nothing about the South like that. You visited the South. You've never lived down here. She's from Detroit.
That
She
what
don't
got me.
understand.
That what got me a puzzle. I'm like, you not even a Falcon fan. How you gonna tell us who to hire?
Exactly.
Like you a
You a
Falcon fan.
Detroit Lions fan. You pretty much pulled for a crappy organization for years. And not to disrespect the Lions, because they got championships from Bobby Lane days. So they have NFL championships, which were the Super Bowls of back in the day before they changed the name. They got a few, but they were literally on a hiatus for years. So again, Jamil, think before you speak, sweetheart.
Please
Please
bring back the integrity in journalism.
think before you speak.
There is a very, very old saying: better to be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. If it turns out that Stefanski is the monster that you think he is, the evidence will make itself evident. What he is, what he isn't, who he is, who he is. The evidence will come out. It will come out. And this is the place that it will come out at. It won't come out in Detroit. It'll come out down here. And we have enough people here who are watching and monitoring the situation. We'll take care of our business south of the Mason-Dixon line down here. I know 75 run from Atlanta to Detroit, but you on that top end. We got this bottom end. We got this down here. We got it. Okay.
And another person, and y'all gonna get mad at me when I say it, but as my man New Jack say,
Like me or not, I didn't come up here to be liked. I came up here to get paid.
that's how I feel about it. Mark Vino, I saw what you said on X. Stop saying you understand the culture. You're a New Yorker, for number one. You're a damn New Yorker. You migrated down south, Snowbird.
See,
And then
all of them jokers.
Wait a minute. I got you, John, because I know where you finna go with it. Let's talk about this here. And Glenn, Cam, he one of your boys too. He's an Army officer, by the way. Former Army officer. So he one of y'all.
I don't claim him.
Hey, he got on the page that he an Army vet.
They saw
I don't claim him. I don't
So
claim
here's
him.
the thing. Zeno, we understand that you look like Captain America because of your famous physique. You asked some great questions, but stop saying that you understand what these fans want and understand this. Dude, You haven't been around long enough to understand this fan base. You've only been down here for a short time, and you've only lived through the Matt Ryan years. You haven't been, at least Terrence Moore has been down here covering more than just football.
No,
I'm not
Terrence Moore been down here.
He was down here when Evander Holyfield was the heavyweight champ in 1990. That's how long he been down here. He left the Bay Area and came here. So
yeah. You got cash.
You got to have some kind of equity here in this city before you can start saying that you know what fans want. Like, you've been here for a few years. You see what we talk about, but you don't understand it because you haven't lived what we live. Sorry.
Cause that all them jokers, man, Steak Shapiro, Mark Zeno, Shalini.
Yep.
Sounds like a pizza factory.
Hey, well, you do realize that they're Italian, right? Yeah, you realize they're Italian, right?
Yeah. Why you think I said what I just said?
But here's the thing.
Pepperoni, John.
Hey, Zeno was showing when the snowstorm hit last weekend that he was making spaghetti and meatballs from scratch. He was showing it on his page. Go to his X. He's got it posted. So again,
man, that's hilarious.
But I mean, when they came here, now this is the thing. I remember when they came here. Okay, yep. when they came here, 790 The Zone was launched as a radio station here. It was a situation where if anybody would call in or anybody would disagree with their opinion, no, you don't know what you're talking about. This and that, this and that, this and that. And man, I used to take great pleasure at waking up at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, or either getting off of work at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning and calling in and cussing them out. Look, man, y'all don't have no idea what's going on down here. Y'all just got here, all right? And Delta is ready when you are. If you want to go back, you can go back. And I got 2 damn interstates that will take you right back where the hell it is you came from. 85 and 20. 20 will throw you on the doggone 95 in the left lane so you can stomp the gas and get back to Bed-Stuy, the Bronx, Yonkers, and all those places with the quickness.
Because John, John, this is what I tell people. If you
didn't,
that's all I'm saying. I understand we got some Falcon fans that came along because they were younger during the Matt Ryan times. But John, you've been a Falcon fan since they got to the city. I've been a Falcons fan since Jesse Tuggle was pretty much was an undrafted free agent and took his job. You know, I tell people all the time, that's my favorite Falcon of my life. My 2 favorite Falcons of my life, 3 Falcons of my lifetime. Yes, I love Prime, but my favorite Falcons, Terrence Mathis, Andre Rison, Jesse Tuggle. Those are my guys. A lot of people, and I love Prime too, but those are my Falcons. Those are my all-time Falcons that I grew up watching. Now, as a kid growing up on NFL films, reading and studying, I tell people all the time, the player that I respect the most is a Hall of Famer, and he's a Tennessee State alum, Mr. Claude Humphrey. And we didn't even do right by honoring him as much as we should have. And Tommy Nobis. So again, Zeno and them boys can't tell me a damn thing about the Falcons because I lived through them days of June Jones as my head coach and Jeff George as my quarterback. Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
Don't ever say Jeff George again.
Hell, we had former Heisman Trophy winner Mike Rozier as our running back. I mean, this is what I'm saying. If you say you're a Falcons fan that's 30 plus years and you can't tell me who Oliver Barnett is, if you can't tell me who Tim McKay is, we ain't got nothing to talk about. We ain't got nothing to talk about.
Hey, Rye. To bring this back full circle, right? If we noticed about this franchise, we haven't honored the people that we're supposed to honor. Take care of the people we're supposed to take care of. Why in the year 2026 are we as the fans, or some of the fans, expecting all of this to work all of a sudden because we hired Kevin Stefanski when the proof is in the pudding from day one till now? This franchise has not done right by the people that they are supposed to do right by, including the fans. So if we're sitting here discussing these things based on facts, because we all watched this product from day one, what makes us think that the franchise is just all of a sudden going to turn over a new leaf and be the franchise that it should have been all these years with wasted talent? Anybody
Now I
can answer
hope
that
you,
question for me.
hey,
Anybody.
now coach, I hope you're asking a rhetorical question because I
Again,
can answer. I can answer it. I can
hey,
answer it.
hey, you know what's funny? This is what
I
we
can
get.
answer it.
Yo, this is what we get when we get folks in here that be cutting up. I like the people that come through here.
See,
Okay.
I
Hey, look,
mean,
hey,
I'm
no,
here
y'all
for
gotta
it.
understand. No,
I'm
you
here
gotta
for it if he
understand.
gonna
No,
do it, but
he's not a
yeah.
Falcon fan. No, this isn't a Falcon fan. That's a damn troll
Okay.
that come up in here all the
Oh,
time.
okay, I got you.
Selling and excellence, we appreciate you tuning in. I'm not gonna sit here and talk bad about you because we appreciate it, but I know you talking trash.
Put that pipe down, brother.
For real.
cocaine, hell of a drug.
I got you. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. But getting back to it, man. The last topic of the night, we got to talk about Bijan Robinson having an ironclad case for being the offensive player of the year. When you look at what he put up numbers wise as all-purpose yards, 2,298 yards. In rushing, he had 1,478 yards, averaging 5.5 yards a carry, 7 touchdowns on the season, and then receiving 79 receptions for 820 yards with 4 touchdowns and averaging 10 yards a catch. I'm just saying, he literally has 2,298 yards.
He gonna break the bank when the time is time.
All I'm saying is that's obvious. That's an obvious choice for a guy that's supposed to be the offensive player of the year. That is an obvious choice.
I mean, I just feel like he deserves it, but you know that like Coach Cam was saying, they give the guys with winning records. We'll see what happens, man. I really want him to get something because he really had an outstanding season. And like I say, it's gonna be a world when we got to pay him, man, because he gonna deserve and command a top dollar. He gonna set the market for the running back.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Well, hell, you heard what Saquon Barkley said, because I tell people all the time, yes, Bijan is one of the best, but I still right now, until you take that crown from Saquon Barkley, Saquon is that dude right now still. That's and he right. Him and Saquon are like literally neck and neck, but Saquon still edges him out right now because remember, Saquon pretty much could have broke Eric Dickerson's record, but he pretty much sat because he knew that he needed to go on that playoff run when they won that Super Bowl. He was thinking about team and not himself, and he easily could have broke Dickerson's record and still probably won the Super Bowl, but he didn't want to risk getting hurt, which I understand.
Quick question to everybody. This is what Bijan's third year, right? So he's eligible for a contract extension next season, correct? Or is he eligible this offseason?
No, it'll be next season.
Okay.
Drake is gonna be it's Drake's time right now.
Okay, it's Drake this year, then next year. Okay.
So you got Pitts, you got Drake, and then next year is Bijan. And you gotta remember Tyler Allgeier's up for money this year too.
Yep.
Now, Bijan, I'm gonna say this. This man did this in spite of, not because of. Now, one thing that I'm looking forward to seeing that's going to happen is whether this Stefanski guy is going to revamp this offensive line, so that because they say, okay, we're going to do some gap, we're going to do some wide, that zone blocking. But if you go gap and you put me a fullback back there where Bijan can come past that line wide open instead of having to dodge mouse traps in the kitchen in the dark, I think he can get $2 grand on the ground.
Easy.
He can get $2,000 on the ground if the road is paid for. And see, that's what I'm really hoping that they can do for him.
But this offense brings back a fullback though, so that's also going to help as well.
And
so,
see that's what man.
Man. And then you brought in that Bill Callahan, man. He gonna have them boys flying and bumping off that ball.
That right side of that offensive line is gonna be shored up. And I can tell you right now, if McGarry don't shape up, he gonna get shipped out. Tell you that now.
I can see that with an offensive line coach like Callahan.
But wouldn't that gap type of offensive line favor him?
Not in pass blocking. Gotta have somebody you still gotta have somebody that's gonna protect your franchise quarterback at this point. He's already got a knee injury where he's been gone for a year, and now he's coming back off of that. Do you really want to chance that at this point?
No.
If he gets hurt again, as I said this earlier in the show, at that point, you got to start thinking about his mortality, and you got to start thinking about, hey, I can't keep losing this kid to injuries at the end of the season. And that's what you got to start thinking. So you got to shore up this line to help him out, to keep him healthy.
The one thing about Stefanski that I do know, he loves to run a lot of power. And if you look at what he had with Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and currently with Jerome Ford, Tyler Algier is the prototypical back that he features in his run game. Here's the question. Do we break the bank to bring Tyler back, or do we allow Tyler to leave to become a starter elsewhere? That's another key thing that we're going to have to look at as this offseason progresses.
I believe they let Tyler go get his money elsewhere. I believe. That's just my opinion.
And I'm gonna say it again for those who don't know. Go get Curtis Allen out of Virginia Union. You get him for little to nothing. And he's better than all the backups that we have on this team. If you don't know who he is, the man just won the Division II Heisman and literally could have played at D1, but chose to sit. Again, that's two Virginia Union backs that have gone over 2,000 yards on the ground and nasty. So all I'm saying is at this point, you got a guy that's physical between the tackles. You got a guy that can catch out of the backfield. And one of the most important things that I keep saying is pass blocking.
Yeah, definitely.
So far, I haven't been wrong about my player evals when it comes to certain players, and especially my boys that's coming out of HBCUs. That right there would fit exactly what we do, and he fits the Stefanski offense. Because guess what? Virginia Union, they run power, they run trap, they run counter, and anything out of there is battle tested and it's tough. Coach Brandon's been on this show and talked about it. Coach McGriff has talked about that program. There's a lot of guys that have come out of that program that have done well in the NFL. It's just quiet because it's a smaller school. But Virginia Union is just as nasty as a Valdosta State. It's just as nasty as a Georgia Southern. Go look at some of the guys that they've had, because they've had guys that last in Canada and do so much. That's why I say I can't wait till we have our draft special, because we gon', like I said, I got some gems. Now I know some other podcasts are gonna be watching and they're gonna try to steal and they're gonna try to say it was theirs, but it's okay. But y'all know where y'all gonna hear it at first, because don't nobody cover HBCUs like I do. So if you hear it, you know where it came from. And then the Division II schools. I'm gonna talk about the big time schools like we always do, but my thing is I'm always gonna spotlight the gems that could bring a lot of value to this team when we're limited with draft picks. So finally, I want to throw this out here. Corner Dalen Everett, University of Georgia's cornerback, was talked to at the Senior Bowl the other day, and somebody mentioned to him possibility that he could play for the Falcons, and he was very ecstatic about it. He said he'd love to play with AJ Terrell, Billy Bowman, and Xavier Watts and Jesse Bates. He'd love to come here because he already knows, because he's worked out with those guys in the offseason, by the way, and not just worked out with them. He's also familiar with Jerry Gray. So Again, we talked about it. It's a Sports Illustrated article if you want to check it out. And here's the thing: Everett is considered a 3rd to 4th round pick. So guess what? You can get you a corner, another corner that actually we know that's battle tested. We actually know that he can tackle and he's gotten better at coverage. He's one of those. He was a late bloomer and he turned into something nice. Now, if we don't get him, go get Colton Hood out of Tennessee if you can. That's the guy who I would look at.
What's the kid from Missouri? He's oh my goodness. I can't think of the kid's name. He's 6'3", 213, and I think he had 9 catches to his side of the field the whole season in college football, which is pretty much unheard of. Yeah. So if you're not going to go get those two guys, go get the kid from Missouri. Like it's crazy. Like with all of us here who watch college football, how are we able to pull up these gems of players, and you have people in the front office that couldn't find a gem in a wet paper bag that's shining with the light on it?
Shine bright like a diamond.
That's something that you have to ask, because you got people that's in this front office that really don't. They only look at the big time schools. They don't really do research where they go because of the way technology is now. A lot of guys don't put eyes on people unless they're at the Senior Bowls and things. You don't see that.
I just feel like their desire to get this team and this organization to win is just not as dire as ours. They've not been a fan of the Falcons for 30, 40, 50 plus years. They just got a job here 3 years ago. You know, they're just a job to them, just like how we go to work. Of course, we care about our job, but that passion lies within us to do the extra research, to do the small and the detailed things, to go find a guy that'll actually really fit the mold of the city, fit the mold of the offense and the defense that we're trying to put on the field, man. I think
I'm gonna be 100. I don't care about a joker fitting the city. I don't care. I need him to fit the field. To hell with fitting.
That's what I just said. I said fit the city and on the field also.
What I'm saying is this, because this is what has been lost. A lot of fans, and I'm not saying you, because I've had this debate on other podcasts. Well, he got to fit the culture of the city. No, the hell he don't. I need somebody that's going to fit the culture of winning football games. To hell with fitting the culture of the city, because guess what? The city will embrace you when you're winning. Trust me on that. They'll find a way. That's why, and I'm like, everybody's like, well, he got to fit this. No, he don't. He don't. And I'm going to give you 2 corners, and then we're going to shut this thing down. There's a kid by the name of Jeremiah Walker out of Sam Houston. I'm sorry, Stephen F. Austin, not Sam Houston. Stephen F. Austin. 6 feet tall, 192 pounds at corner. He's a 6-footer. But the thing about him is this. He's very rangy, to where he's one of those guys that is physical and run stopping. He's good in zone coverage, and he has understandings of routes and availability, and he closes quick. That is something else that we have lacked when it's come to the corner. And the other guy that I'm gonna throw out here, he's out of Florida A&M. I ain't been wrong about them FAMU boys, because they've been putting them out like left and right. There's a kid by the name of Damari Tate, 6'1", 195 pounds, 4'4" guy, physical run supporter, and he pretty much is compared to Antoine Winfield. That's, if you want to know about him, look at his footage. He's compared to Antoine Winfield Jr. That's what he plays like.
Hey, Rod, the first kid you said, they say he played like Josh Norman.
Nah, he actually don't. I wouldn't compare
him. They said in man, he gets beat often because he doesn't have very good hips. But when you put him in zone, he's one of the greatest shutdown corners ever.
Why do you think I put him out and I said zone? Think about it. Mm-hmm. If you want to sit back, what's going on, Wolf? Appreciate you stopping through. When you look at our defense, how often do you see our corners playing man coverage? You a coach, you break down the film just like I do. How often do you see him playing man coverage? Okay. Now you understand why I said him, right?
Yep.
Low round
86%
draft
of
pick.
the time.
Look, low round draft pick, a guy that plays in zone very well and understands the fact that he's not going to get beat on every route. If I had to compare him to somebody, it wouldn't be Josh Norman. That's disrespectful to him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I had to compare him to a corner, I would have to say he reminds me a little bit of an early Dre Bly.
Mm.
That's what he reminds me of.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But no, what I'm saying is, if you look at Josh Norman in Carolina in that zone 3, Josh Norman was one of the better corners in the NFL during that period because it allowed him to do a lot of ball hunting, but it also allowed him to make sure that no one got over the top of him, so he knew there was a safety back there, so he could do the things that he did. He could play bumping if he wanted to. So
Now
that's
just
why.
think about this. The kid Tate that I just mentioned was a rotational piece at FAMU last year because you had Kendall Bowler and there was another kid that's playing in the league now. Think about it. He was a rotational piece. He got in on certain downs, but when he did, he made them count. And now he was a starter. Tate is a monster. You got a guy that's 6'1", runs a 4.4 in his 40, good hips, good hands, and fundamentally sound. The one thing that you know that's coming out of Tallahassee from the 7 Hills, we ain't talking about FSU. We talking about the 7 Hills where them Rattlers are at. He's going to be fundamentally sound. He's going to be tough. And he pretty much is going to have a short-term memory. Trust me when I tell you that. Because unfortunately, he got beat in the Bethune-Cookman game at the end.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is this, man. It's what it is. This is all we're seeing at this point. And we definitely have some pieces that we can bring up. But trust, we got draft specials that's going to be coming up this offseason. We got, like I said, from Power 4 schools, HBCUs, FCS schools. We got a lot of guys that we're going to be talking about. And then we also got some interviews coming up too. So we definitely appreciate you guys for tapping in. Hey, I'll say this. Alan, just make sure when you troll, we appreciate you tuning in, giving us the eyes. Just hit that like button for your boy before you get up out of here. Because, again, as I said before, you can say what you want, but guess what?
Like me or not, I didn't come up here to be liked. I came up here to get paid.
So go ahead and hit that like button to help your brother get paid up in here. Because you love to troll, but damn it, I need you to hit that like button. Now, appreciate Big John, the Cricket Deacon, for coming through. John, tell the folks where they can find you at.
You can find me on the eye test every Wednesday night, 10 o'clock. Those people working on the back side of the clock, if you're an insomniac and can't go to bed, we there. We did 5.5 hours yesterday because we had a lot of stuff to cover.
5.5 hours.
Hey, we
A
keep the store
marathon on the eye test.
Hey, we keep the store open for folk to go in and out. You know, pick up something and get out. You know, whatever, whatever you want to do.
That
And
can tell us on.
yeah,
You'll never
well,
find what you were doing.
They were dancing
man,
and asking for donations and everything.
but one thing I definitely wanted to do before I left was congratulate all of you guys for reaching 1,000 subscribers. You guys have done an excellent job in bringing great content, as they say, and talking about the Falcons, sports, and everything in general. I really appreciate you guys having me up here from time to time, and it was a joy to watch you guys grow to where you are right now. Y'all picking in high cotton. Just make sure to get all of the white pieces.
Hey, man. Hey, John, I'm gonna tell you just
I don't know what we're gonna do with that, John.
No, I got him. John, I'm gonna tell you just like this here, man. I ain't picking no cotton because guess what? My ancestors' hands pick cotton, my hands pick voting ballots, and my hands actually pick the topics and the things that we do here. So I'd be damned if I pick cotton. I'm good. I don't give free labor.
Right now.
Hell no, I still don't give free labor. Even now. All right, Alan. I appreciate you, dude, but I'm gonna have to put you in the timeout, my guy. Yeah, we pretty much through with all that. Always coming in here just wanting to just be seen and not heard and don't want to come in when we drop the link. So, hey man, take the time out. But anywho, appreciate you, John, for coming through as always, my brother.
All right.
We'll catch you next time. Coach Cam, K-Dub, Graybeard, we appreciate y'all for doing your due diligence this week, brothers, and coming through. And for the folks that are in the chat, thank you guys for coming through. We appreciate you guys for tuning in and helping us to get to 1,000 subscribers. Hey, we've been doing this for a minute. You know, slow progress is better than nothing, but we're actually trying to work to get to that 5K. So y'all continue to keep spreading the word. We definitely got you covered. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in tonight. Hey, we might have some pop-up shows coming, but as I said before, we got some interviews coming up. So you either get right or you get left. Go ahead and get right. Hit that like and subscribe button on the way out. We'll catch you then. Ghost.